Hi guys, Carl behind the camera here for Team Shift. Here we have Polley, and what did you do today?
I won the local winner box today. So it was 5 rounds of Swiss and then top 8. So in total I went X1, so I went 7-1 today.
Cool. And what did you play?
Go first, Swordsoul.
Cool, let's see the list.
Okay, so for main deck, there's just, for hand traps, is 3 Ash. The only hand traps I'm playing are Ash, Impalm. There's space to play them when you go first, and like Ash and Impalm are like the best ones basically to play, because Ash isn't the most impactful, but it hits the most, and that's basically what you want. You want your cards to be able to hit every matchup pretty much. And then for Swordsoul, it's 3 Moye, 3 Long 2 Tai, and then 3 Yugioh. It's just a standard line, you don't really need any more. Sometimes if you banish like a Tai or something, you kind of miss it, but it's fine most of the time. And then for Tenyi, it's just 3 Ashuna, 3 Vishuda, 2 Atara, and then the Wind one. So most of this is standard, but for going first, you want to have a level 4 in case they like imp your Moye, and then you can Dragon Circle, and then add a 4, and then summon it with the token. The reason we're playing the Wind one instead of the Water one, which most people play, is because the Wind, the main reason for it is when you summon going second, you can make this and the token into a Baxia. So, and if you did it with a water one, you'd only get to spin 1 card with Baxia, but with this you get to spin 2. And they basically have the same effect anyway. This one, all it does is when you attack with a non-effect monster, you can banish it from grave, and the non-effect gains 1500 attack and defense.
It's when they battle, so you can do it when they swing into yours as well.
Yeah, so one of the cool things to do with both of them is if you have a Changing on field and you attack, you can do it in the damage step, so they can't respond to the Changing most of the time. And then another good reason why the Wind one is good is because against Bird, it gives you a Wind to summon off of Ashuna instead of like most of the time popping a Baron, so it can help out there too.
You can do long 1, pitch Ashuna, summon out the Wind one from deck, make Cheng-Ying, and then Protos for Wind still.
Yeah. So it just has more utility than the War one.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last one, of course, Protos, just unfair card. That's what it is. And then for spells, you play 3 Emergence, obviously, and then 3 Circle. Like this card is like really good, especially when you go fast, because you just want your Moye to resolve. And if they don't hit it, you can circle your Monk to add something like a Protoss or something. And even going second, you can Baxia or Moye, and then you can just circle your Baxia, and then if they like imp it or something and you circle it, they basically just lose cards and they can't respond to it.
Resolves off field.
Yeah. And then the second effect to add from grave is like useful, but most of the time you're either setting up a board and then killing them on turn 3, or you're just killing them on turn 2. So it doesn't come up a whole lot, but it's still useful sometimes.
It's a better card going second than Vessel.
Yeah. Yeah, Vessel's only really good when you go first, and it doesn't play around like any interruption. Like you have to open Tenyi to go with it. So you miss out going first on like the Chao Feng line sometimes, but it's not like the utility of Circle is way more than having the chance to open Chao Feng. So, and then 3 Chalice. This could be a hand trap maybe, but
probably these instead of Veilers, right?
Yeah, this could be Veiler. But I just think Chalice is just really good. It's basically Impalm when you go first, and going second it helps break boards, because sometimes, like especially against stuff like Scythe, like you can draw this as your 6th card and it will always do something instead of drawing like Veiler 6th.
Yeah, you can also like Moye into or Long 1 into a Baron and then chain it.
Yeah. And then you have 3 Desires, just because it's Desires draws 2. And then for traps you play 3 Imp, so the other hand trap, and then 1 Blackout. I still don't think you need 2 Blackout. Half the time, I literally use this like maybe 1 game in a day, but like it's nice when it comes up, but you don't really need it.
You're normally searching Emergence for Protoss instead, right?
Yeah, most of the time, the only time this happens is if they stop your normal, and then you can long 1 summon, and then make Shishao with the Moye and then the token, and then banish this to still make the Baron.
Yeah.
Apart from that, it doesn't really come up that much.
It's mainly the banish summon token effect that comes up rather than the top 2.
Yeah, and then for extra, so 3 Monk, you could probably play 3. There's like a couple extra spaces, but I've never really needed it. Like it comes up every so often, but I think there's just better cards to play. And then Shaman, obviously you just play it with the Tenyi cards, which is really good. And then Draco Masters, I actually used it today and it was actually like really good. It's really good if you go second and they have a lot of interruptions but they don't have a whole lot of follow-up. Like against Swordsoul, like this is really good because they can like impalm your stuff and then you just put like you make another monk and you make it all into Draco Masters. You pop 2 cards, attack. Then if you have like an Imp or a Chalice, they normally can't play because their starter next turn is normally like a tie or something. So most of the time you're fine. And then if
play
you
through when you get token collectors as well.
yeah, if you get token collected or Lancia, it also helps playing through that. Then Synchros, play 2 Shu Shao, just standard. And then Yazi, 2 Baxia, Chaofeng. Yeah, there's not much to say. Baxia is a very strong card. And then for the other 8s, you play Berserker because it's really good off like the Shaman, and it's also really good for attacking for game and stuff. And then Dragite is basically the last, like the 15th card. I just played it because I think it's like I'm going fast, so sometimes I can make a Dragite if I need to, and it has the most utility to me. Like it does, it fills in the role that you need. Like against trap decks and stuff, you can play it, and it's like still strong.
Also, not that you're playing Nib, but you can sometimes use it to reveal a Nib and spin a card as well.
Yeah. And then for turns, it's just the usual Baron, Chenying, and Ruddy.
So a lot of people have cut Ruddy now.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the card?
Ruddy's normally really good if you go second against like a deck that uses the Grave, so it's really good against PK and Drytron, but no one's really playing Drytron, and I don't think PK's that good. Like just relying on Scythe normally isn't good enough because everyone's playing Imps, everyone's playing, like most people are playing Chalices, like there's too many ways to just stop the Scythe. So this could be like the 14th card. You don't summon it a whole lot, but like especially against stuff like DP. Even against like Invoked, you can just summon it, banish the DP, banish the draw 2, and yeah.
Yeah, like DP Tri as well, clear out all their resources.
Yeah, against like Tri Brigade or stuff like that, it just basically wins you the game because you have to go through fractal lines again. But yeah, you could probably, if there's other stuff you want to play, like the Invoked package, like the Nova, the Mechaba, and the Entis, you can probably cut this and Dragite and find something else to cut maybe, and you can fit it in, but I don't really think you need it that much. I just think Ruddy Rose is still a good card.
And on to the side deck.
Yeah, so for side we play 3 Lancia. It hits pretty much every deck in the format. Slide it in against Swordsoul, slide it in against Tri Brigade, Lyrilusc Tri Brigade, Invoked. It's just like really good going fast in second too. Like it's just
Hits Invoked and Bird Up in a similar way to what Droll does.
Yeah.
Obviously this stops you getting Maximus against
yeah.
the Invoke deck, so it's pretty good for that.
Yeah, it can stop Maximus and normally the Invocation, but most of the time I just shotgun it in Stammer phase. Like on the off chance that they can't play, like you go -1, but it's just to stop if people are playing talents. Because if you lance them in main phase and the talents you start with your cards, and it
Also helps stop Prosperity, Desires, Extrav.
Yeah. So there are some uses to just doing it in Summer phase too, apart from just the talents thing. And then I suppose 3 Lightning Storm. This is just like a generic go second card against a lot of decks. Like even back row, Swordsoul. I don't really side in against Lyrilusc Tri Brigade normally because they just have too many negates, and you just want to. If they get to the board, you normally lose because we're not playing all the go second cards. So you just want to stop them getting to the board. Like you could maybe side it in, but it's only good if they don't make the full board, and if they don't make the full board, your engine's good enough to break it most of the time anyway.
Yep.
And then 3 Cosmics and a Duster. The deck can play through like back row, but with like Vishuda lines and like Moye lines, but it's just good to always have something, especially against like Floodgates. Like Tikabur and Winder like normally just end your turn, so you just want to have something for those. So I always side this in against like any deck that can play Tikabur, like Prank Kids, Invoked, Striker. Like Striker's a back row deck anyway, so it doesn't matter. And then like Eldritch and like Poltergeist maybe they're all good against.
You'd rather have the Cosmic for against things like PK for the Scythe.
Yeah, it also comes with the Scythe, but no one's really playing PK. It has the utility, but I'm not really worried about PK that much anyway. And then go fast cards, it's just the anti-spells and the order. This is actually like I don't side any of this in against Bird anymore because they just most of the time they just don't open spells. So if you do this and they open the spell, it's normally like one spell, like Bird Call, maybe a Talents. Like, it's not doing a whole lot. I'd rather just side in the Lanciers and just leave it as that, because you don't have a whole lot of room to take out stuff. You have to just start taking out Engine most of the time, and like spare Tenyis. But every time I've flipped this against Bird, it's done almost nothing. So I've stopped siding them in and only side them in. You can side them in against almost anything else, except Bird, really. And then just a reboot for trap decks, and also Bird, because game 2 or game 3, if they go fast again, you can try and hand trap them, but if they open Featherstorm, you just lose. So you have to have something like, I haven't really seen it, but against the times when they do Featherstorm, it can just help push to like kill them through the game. But yeah, that's a deck. And so I started playing Go Fast like a month ago, just because it feels really bad to go second into a lot of stuff, like Invoked, Pranked, kind of like Owlets. You don't really want to go second into them. Like, yeah, you can draw the go second cards like evenly, but if you don't draw them, you're in such a bad position, because like your engine just can't play through the floodgates and stuff. And going first, like, because you're playing more hand traps, you're playing circles and stuff, you can play through Interruption, and like most people aren't playing board wipes as well, so most of your stuff sticks, so you can just kill them a lot easier the next time. So I think with the reduction of people playing like board breaker cards, the deck got a lot better going first. And also, like, if you go fast, you can just protoss people, so the card's always good. Yeah.
Cool. Any shout outs or final thoughts?
Shout outs to Carl, as always, for giving me the deck list. Yeah, I hate deck building, so he just gave me the list, and then unfortunately again I had to beat him, and he's in top, so commiserations to him. Commiserations to him. But other than that, shout out to everyone on the team. Yeah.
And shout out to MetaMats for the new mats.
Yeah.
Cool. See you next time, guys. Bye.